Okay. Hi all. Welcome to our session 2. Today we'll be talking about um, our payroll module, like what is its applications and why we should use it, and basic navigations in SAP, and how you can um, edit, copy, delete, or make changes to the employees' data. All right. So now let's assume that you were you have started a company. All right, you need to hire the employees. So how do you hire the employees? Like, you will require the employees to provide you the data, right? While joining, the employees will provide the data of their the personal data of them, right? So can you tell me some of the personal data that you provide while joining a company, Shanti?
Yes, it's a name, address,
Hmm.
and like date of birth
Hmm.
and previous experience details.
Right.
If it is there, mean previous experience details.
Right. So let's say if you don't have SAP in place, okay, and assume that there are 1,000 employees in your company, Shanti. Okay, where will you maintain this data?
Generally, we use Excel only when employees will come.
Right.
So,
So Excel, and
yes,
like let's say there are 1,000 employees, right? So what will you do? You will store 1,000 employees data in your Excel,
it's very difficult actually.
right? And also, let's assume by any means you have maintained the data. Then comes a part that you should also use the data to manage the payroll. When I meant payroll, it's right from the employees hiring till the termination. You need to pay them out, right? So assume, Shanti, you have company in 10 countries. Okay, and in 10 countries, um, the legislation differs. Like in India, there are tax slabs, right? For 2.5 lakhs, 5 lakhs, and then 10 lakhs, like that. There will be tax slabs. Not just tax slabs, there can be pensions, PFs, right? So how do you manage all these things? Do you calculate them manually in your Excel?
Oh, yes, it is very difficult actually to
Right.
calculate.
Right. And you have to provide your employees with your pay slips. You have to provide the filing to the government that so and so person we have deducted so and so tax, correct? So all these
Yes.
things managing in Excel or managing through other softwares is a very difficult thing. So for that very purpose, the SAP has given a wonderful solution called HCM or payroll, which can be used to manage everything that's related to employment. And you can manage employees' data, employees' positions, employees' structure, salaries, filings, and so on. All that's related to the payroll can be managed through SAP HCM functionality. All right. So this is the reason why we need the SAP. Now, let's say you have provided. Let me know if you are seeing my screen. I am sharing you
Yes.
my screen. So
Yes, we are able
let's
to
say
see.
you have collected employees' data. Now, what is the best way to organize the data? Like, let's say I want so and so person's address details. So how can you get that? In Excel, if you have maintained, you have to search the employee and then see where you have maintained the address. Let's assume there is this Excel where in the first sheet, let's say you have given um, Shanti's details, right? Okay, here what you will do, you will maintain name, address, and previous org details, and salary, position, and in the next sheet will maintain some other employee, let's say Swati. Okay, will maintain the same details, right? Now, if somebody asks you to pull a report which gives all the employees address details, now it is very difficult to pull, right? Because each sheet, it may contain previous address, address details in each sheet for each employee, so it is very hard to bring the data, right? So in SAP, what we do is we decide like where this data should be stored. Like all the employees name will be stored in a container. Okay, and all the employees addresses will be stored in containers. So this is related to the employees information, so we call them as information containers, also referred to as information types in SAP terminology. Sometimes people may call it in short form info types, which is by removing this. So they call it as info types, where we store common data of all the employees. So where do we store it in SAP and how you can access it? Okay, first we need to log in into SAP. So this is called the client ID, and this is the user. I mean, for just like you have your Facebook user ID, this is SAP user ID, which would be provided to you by your org, and this is your password. So once you enter into it, this we call it as home page. Okay, SAP home page. Now there are this is called as command field through which we can navigate to different screens in SAP. Okay, team, please let me know if I'm going fast or if you do not understand anything. I can always say any number of times that you need. I all that I need is you to understand it correctly. Okay, so
Yeah, it is good.
okay. So this is called as command field through which we can navigate to different screens in SAP. And this bar, whatever you could see here, is called as toolbar, which can be used for different purposes. I'll come to that point where I'll explain each icon. But before that, let's see how we can view the data that is already maintained in SAP, or how we can edit the data that we need, or how we can enter the data. Okay, first I'll go to view. So to view the employee data that's already there in SAP, this is the code. This you have to call it as transaction code. All these are transactions, and PA20 is the transaction code to view the employee data. We can also call it as employee master data. So um, in your companies, they might have provided you with something called as employee ID, right? What is the purpose of employee ID? Can someone tell me what is the purpose of employee ID?
Well,
Unique
as an employee,
identification.
Right. It gives you unique identification. Like let's say there are two peoples with name Swati. Okay, and even their initial are same. Now, how to identify each individual? So they will assign you a ID. So that ID is this thing. In SAP, we call it as personal number. Okay. Against each employee, there would be personal number assigned. So this is your personal number. So for each employee, this personal number changes. I'm taking the test data. So you might see the name as test one. Okay. This is just a test data. I'm showing it as an example. Assume this is Shanti's master data. Okay. Now, how I can view the data? So, as I said, for each common type of data, we have something called as info type. So, in SAP, what they did is against this data, they have assigned a code, a number. So, where does this data stores is in info type 2. Okay, name will get stored in info type 2, address will get stored in info type 6, and salary will get stored in info type 8, and position will get stored in info type 1. So you don't have to worry about this codes for now. How I can remember what is 2, what is 6, what is 8. With practice, you will automatically learn this. For now, just understand that. So if you have to pull the data of 10 employee names, then you can go to IT2 information type 2 and fetch the data. From there you will get all the employees data. Okay, now, so if I have to see the name, so here you could see there is a selection for info type. So here what you need to do is you need to input 2 for employees personal data. So what can be your personal data? Can someone tell me what kind of data would be your personal data?
Yeah, personal information, employee
Like,
personal information.
like,
Yeah. Like
Date of birth
name.
and
hmm,
Yeah,
name,
right,
and age, relation, marital status.
correct. So those kind of data can be clubbed into info type personal data. And if I have to see the personal data, you have to enter 2 here, press enter, and then you could see it's highlighted. And this green tick indicates that there is data in this info type. And if you see this addresses, there is no green tick, which means addresses data is not maintained. Okay. And then now, to see the data that's maintained in this personal data info type, you need to go here, and you could see here the spectacle icon, right? Which means to see, display, or you can use also the shortcut F7. So when I hover my mouse on this icon, you could see the description as well as the shortcut that you can use. Now I'm clicking on this icon spectacle, and you could see that the title, the last name, first name, and this is name format. Like, let's say in your payslip you need to display first name plus last name, or last name then first name. That would be decided by this name format, and then your birth date, and then your birthplace, and the language that you use, and the marital status, and the number of children, and your nationality. All such personal data can be found in this info type. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Team, anyone that doesn't have experience working on SAP, um, let me know. Your doubt can be silly, but it's much needed that you clearly understand like what is info type and what are the info type numbers. Okay, clear? Now I hope the silence is no. Then let's see. Now let's say when I click on display, all that you can see is one screen, right? Now let me do something. Now if you see, this address has got the green mark which indicates the data is maintained in the address info type. So what is the address info type number? It's 6. 6 is the address info type number. Okay. Now when I click on display, you could see the permanent address. But just a while ago, I have maintained the temporary address as well. Now how to see the temporary address? So here to the top left corner, you can see previous record and next record. So at one time, all that you can see in display mode is one record. Now, if I go to the next, when I click on this next record, you can see the employee's temporary address as well. So these icons are to navigate between the records, the previous record and the next record. Then you can see this mountain symbol. So what is this? You might be wondering, like, what is this? So while you use display, you can only see one record at one time. So if I click on this overview, you can see both the records or all the records that's been maintained for the employees at one time. And if you have to go inside the record, you can select this record and click on this choose, and it will take you to the display again. Is it clear? Any doubt? Should I repeat it anywhere? Team?
Yeah, very good.
In this, is there any mandatory fields to update? Sorry.
I'll come to that. I'll come to that.
Oh, okay.
But before that, I want you to clearly understand the navigation. Like, how can you view the record? Maintaining, I'll come to that part later. First, you need to learn how to check the data or how to display the data.
Oh,
Okay. Now, I'm going back again, and you might be wondering what is this STY. So STY is like sub information type. So while checking the address, you might have seen I have maintained permanent address and temporary address. Now, so in SAP, to identify what is permanent address and what is temporary address, even for them, we have given some codings like this. Okay, so this sub information type can also be referred to as subtypes. So when I go here and here in subtypes, you can press your keyboard F4, which gives you all the subtypes that are available. So 1 stands for permanent address, 2 stands for temporary address, 4 stands for foreign address, and so on. Okay. Now, if I have to just view temporary address, now I'll input the code to here, press enter, and you can see the description as temporary address. Then if I click on overview, what is your expectation? Swati, can you tell me if I will be able to see both temporary and permanent, or only temporary or only permanent? Swati, I think you are on mute. Pramod?
Only temporary address.
Yes, because we have selected to view only the temporary address. Now when I click on overview, you can see only one record, and here also you can make changes like which address you want to see. So now I removed it, and I put one here and press enter. Now you see only the permanent address is visible. Now are you clear how to view and what is the overview and what is the display?
Yeah.
Asra, Venkat,
Yes, clear.
Monisha,
yes.
Yes, yes.
here?
Sorry, if we want to see the all the address, then what we will enter
All the address?
at a time
I
This is
didn't.
referring to subtype 2.
means permanent address, temporary address, all the address details at a time. Then what to enter in STY?
STY, do not enter anything. Okay. And just click
Okay,
on overview. Then you could see all the addresses.
okay,
Clear?
okay.
So this is
Yes,
for
thank
filtering
you.
out, just like a filter.
Hmm.
You can filter what you
Okay,
need to see. Okay.
okay.
And then
Yes,
you have something called as period here. So what is the period? Like, let's say you have changed two addresses. Okay. Before 2025, let's assume you were in Hyderabad, and after 2025 you were in Bangalore. Now I want to see the employees data, what is maintained in 2025. Then what I can do is here I can even this will act as filter, but on the date level. Okay, so Let's say if you want to see what is the data that's maintained today, so you have to click on today and click on display, and it will display what are the data or what are the address types that are maintained for that particular date range. Okay, now this period will indicate the today's date, today, current week, and all. When I meant all, it brings the data that's maintained in this particular info type for employees lifetime. Like it will be from employees hiring and till date. Okay, and from current date to what date you want to see, or what was the data that's maintained last week, what was the data that maintained till date, or what was the main data that maintained last month, you can see that. So this is for selecting the date range. Now, for example, I'll show you with example like how this selection will uh, display your data. So we have data. I'll just go and maintain the data for our testing purposes. Okay. First, I'll see the data that's maintained. Okay, 1/1/2025. So I'll maintain from 1/1/2026. 2026 here. Just I'll input Hyderabad. Okay. Now, um, so now what I'll do, I'll select the period here, and I'll give here 1/1/2025 and 31/12/2025. You can in SAP, you don't have to put uh, slash. It depends on the user how they want the date to be input, but you can directly input your date like this ddmmyyy, and then press enter, and you could see the date and months are separated by dot. So in SAP, always remember date generally will be separated by dot. Okay, and then here I have given this date range. Now I click on display. You can see only the first record. If I go to the second record, temporary address, only one temporary address, the one that I entered with Hyderabad, you can't see here. See, even if I click on the next record, it says no subsequent record for current selection criteria. Okay, now if I go back and make changes to this, and what is mean by 31/12/9999 is employees lifelong data from this date. Okay. Now when I click on display icon, you can see because this is present till 31/99 the permanent address, you can see even though the start date is before our selection date. Okay. And if you go here, you can see the address type that's maintained with Hyderabad. So that means this date controls, this field controls the data which must be displayed or filters the data based on the selection criteria. Is it clear? Should I explain it once again? Anyone, do you have any doubts like what is this period?
Is clear.
Clear? Okay. Right. So if I click on today, let's see what data would be displayed. See, only two data because that 1/1/2026 that we have is not displayed because that's for future date. Okay. Now, when I select all, that means all the records will be displayed. Now, when I click on overview, you will see three records. See, you can see the three records because that will provide all the records that are there for that particular employee. Always remember when you choose to display, better to go with this radio button. All these are called radio buttons, and you can select all. And while displaying, please make sure you select all, because sometimes what will happen is you won't concentrate and you will select some period, and you will find you can't find the data properly. So that's the reason why you always make sure that you select the radio button on. Fine. Next, so this is how you can view your data. So PA20 is the transaction, and you must enter the personal number, also referred to as PERNER. Okay, you must enter the personal number here so that employee data will be brought, and then you need to uh, input the information type that you want to view. So 2 for master data, enter, and then click on overview. You can see one record, then you can select it and click on choose. So here your master data will get displayed. So you understood that how you can view the data and the difference between display, overview, and what is information type and what is subtype and the period selection. Clear? Any doubts till this point? Deepak, any doubt?
No, not.
Okay. Now we'll understand how to maintain the data. So just like we have PA20 transaction code for display. PA20 is for display master data. So when you go to PA20, observe here there is a header display HR master data. Okay, so this is for displaying the master data. Now when I go to transaction code PA30, PA30 is for maintaining HR master data. PA30 maintain right. Sometimes you may not remember the info type numbers, or you may not know how to navigate to it. So let's say if you can find this green tick mark, you can select here directly, press enter, and you can see info type is automatically populated. Then you can go to display. So even if you don't remember the number initially, that's fine, but you must remember it. Okay. Now can someone tell me or provide me an example of data that you want to maintain in the system? Swati, Shanti, Pramod, anyone? I'll show you how to maintain the data in the system.
Can begin with actions.
Actions will be too tough to understand for the non-SAP guys. Just shall we go with personal data?
Yeah, personal data.
Okay. So personal data. So assume this data was not there. Now how to create it? So here you can see this icon in PA30 maintain master data. The first icon is create, just like you have open new document in your Excel Word, just like that in SAP there is this create icon with new page. You have to click on create. So it will take you to the creation page. Since there is some data already, it will copy that data into this, but you can provide dates here. Initial screen would be blank. Since this employee has already did the data, it's auto populated. Okay, so I've given the date. Now let's change his name to Shanti Kumar. Date of birth, let's remain it, and marital status single, birthplace India, and country of birth India. So this we call it as drop down box in SAP. Please remember this. This we call drop down because when you click on this, you'll get the drop down option where you can select the country. Okay. And how to save this data? Now you can see this icon here, which is like a floppy disk. You must know already this in your Microsoft tools. It's the same icon. So the shortcut is also there, Control S, just like your Microsoft tools. Control S is option to save the data. So when you save the data, you may get a banner here. So remember the traffic lights: green, yellow, red. So yellow stands for warning, but it will still allow you to save the data. It might say some data is wrong or some data is a problem, but it will let you still save the data. If you get a red banner here, it won't let you save the data. If you get a green banner here, it will let you save the data. Now I'm pressing save again, and you see the record created. Sometimes it may also come as data saved. So that means the data is created. Now, how to view this data? Monalsha, can you tell me how we can see the data that's saved? Hello?
Yeah, that last icon.
Last icon,
We
right?
will see
Overview.
that. Yes, yes,
Overview.
yes.
Yeah. So we have to click on this and you can see the data that we maintain. Now, let's say um, you have given the data and HR has maintained the data in the system, and you have checked the data in your portal and you told them, no, my data is wrong. So my name is not Shanti Kumar. It's not just Shanti Kumar. It's Sanku Shanti Kumar. Now, how to maintain that? Now, HR has to edit this data, right? So what they can do is they can select this record, and you can see this pencil icon here, right? Which means change or edit. So you should click on this edit data, and here I'll make changes to the data. So HR can make changes to data here like this, and then when I clicked on it, it says save your entry, and see there is green mark, which means it allows you to save without any issues. So I'll click on save icon, and you see now the name is changed. Okay, you can also go to that edit from here. You can also see that icon here, edit. Okay, so it will allow you to edit the data. Okay, now, and let's say there is data already, and you just have to make a slight change, but with an effective date. When I meant effective date, with a certain date you want to make slight changes to the data. Now let's say Shanti is married, okay, on 1st Jan 2026. So you don't have to go and create and fill all the data. What you can do is you can use simply this copy function. Okay, when you use this copy function, the latest record will be displayed. Okay, and here you can make changes. Now here what I can do, I can change his marital status from date 1/1/2026. I press on enter, then it says record valid from earlier. What was there? Shanti was single from 1/1/2025 to his lifetime. Now, since I am changing the date from or entering a new record from 2026, the earlier record, which was end dated as 31/12/999, should be delimited to 31/12/2025. So that's what is system saying. So the earlier date would be delimited is what it says. Now I press enter, and you can see here green mark, and if I save, the record is saved. And then when I go to overview, here you can see earlier this was with 31/12/9999. Now it's changed to 31/12/2025. That means this record is delimited and the new record is formed from this date. Team, any doubts till this point? Pramod, any doubts? Okay, fine. Then let's say Shanti said, no, 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 I provided that information by mistake. So we have to delete this record, right? So how to do it? So here you can see this icon, dustbin icon, which can be used to delete the incorrect data. Now let's click on this. I have selected the record and I selected on that icon, and now you can see the record which needs to be deleted. Now I press enter. What does it say? So previous record from 31/12/2025 will be extended till 31/12/99. Since this record is being delimited, the previous record will be extended for lifelong. Now I press on enter again. It says to delete, choose delete function key again. So this is just like a confirmation button which says, okay, now we are going to delete. So how to delete is you have to again press on this delete icon. So I have pressed on delete icon. Since we are not doing anything, we are just deleting, you will not find the save button there. That means automatically the deletion happens. And now you see the earlier record is extended till 31/12/9999. Team, any doubts? Are you clear on how to create, edit, display,
Yes.
copy, and delete?
Yes.
Right? And
Yeah.
now you see there is a delimit option here. What is this delimit? Now let's say there is no further record. Now your permanent address is gone. You, your permanent address was only till 31/12/2025 and you don't want to extend it. Then this delimit option will work. How to do it? You have to select the info type and press on delimit, and it says is not planned for info type personal data. That means for certain info types it won't allow you to make changes, because certain info types once maintained, there must be a record, you can't delimit it. So let's see if we can do that for addresses. Okay, so here when I click on that, it asks what is the delimitation date. So I'll input as 31/12/2025. Okay, so this we call it as dialog box in SAP, remember this. Okay, and then I'll click on okay, and it will ask you which record you want to delimit. Like let's say I want to delimit this temporary address which is saved here. I think it's already with 31/12/2025. Let's see. Or I'll select the permanent address. Okay, I'll click on delimit. Okay, it says record delimited. Now see what it did. I selected permanent address. Now let's see what it did to the permanent address. If I go to the permanent address, I given 31/12/2025, right? So here you can see the record is delimited to 30/12/2025. That means from the date that I have given, the permanent address is erased. Understood? Should I explain it once again? Anyone? Do you have any doubts like on the delimit functionality? Asra?
No,
No?
it's permanent saving. Delimit means we can't change in the future.
Right. So it's like restricting it to the date that we maintain and deleting the future periods. Fine.
Okay.
And then
Yes.
you can also see this lock record. So let's say lock icon. Let's say if someone has deleted it. So employee will tell that no, I didn't request for my data deletion. Okay, so how can you know if someone deleted or made changes to your data? So let's say if someone has made changes to the data or you want to know who created the data, you have to see the record, and here you can see the date on which this data either created or changed, or by the user ID by whom the data is changed. Clear? So this acts like a auditing, like who changed the data and when they changed the data, or who created data and when they created data. There is also another transaction through which you can fetch all the details, because once record is deleted, you can't find the record here, right? So for that as well, we have an audit option which can be used to know who deleted it, when they deleted it. Okay, like let's say if you don't want to delete it, you just want to deactivate it. So how to deactivate the data is select the record, and then you can click on this lock symbol. Okay, and then here you see that there is a lock icon appearing, which means record is locked, and then you have to click on save. So that means this record is deactivated. It won't be fetched by any reports or any programs. Okay. If I scroll towards the right, you can see this lock indicator icon with lock symbol, which means this record is deactivated. So now you know create, edit, copy, delete, and lock. And also you know what is the delimit function. Any doubts till this point, team? Anyone? Any doubts?
No.
No. So, team, will stop it here today. No, I'll also explain what are these three icons, and also I'll explain how to navigate to a different page. Okay. Now I'm into PA20. Now, if I want to go back to the home screen, what you can do is you can click on this back option. Back, and shortcut is F3, so it will take you to the home screen. Now let's say if I am in this screen PA30, now I'm editing the data. Now I just want to go one step back. What I can do is I just click on back. It takes one step back, but not entirely to the home screen. Now, what will happen if I click on this exit? It will take you to home screen instead of taking just one step back. If I click on this exit, see, it takes you to home screen. So it cancels out all the transactions that you are doing and will take you directly to the home screen. Now, like let's say I am editing something and I want to cancel my action. I am just entered something incorrectly, and now I can choose this cancel option. It will ask you whether you want to go to the previous screen by exiting the current action. I'll click yes. So it will take you to the previous screen. Okay. So this is how you can navigate to back and exit from current transaction and cancel the action that you are performing. Okay. So these icons are, in some cases you will find multiple pages, like here you will find multiple pages. I'll come to that example wherein you can go to first page, previous page, next page, and last page icon. Okay. Now let's say you want to maintain the data, but also you want to see the data at the same time. So how you can do that is you can create new session by going to this icon, new session. So when I click on this, if you see here, the previous session is alive and also there is a new session. So here you can enter the transaction code to view the data. um, Deepak, what is the transaction code to view the data?
A20.
Yes, so PA20. So now you can go here. So new session is to keep the original session alive and also to open the new session. So here you can view the data here and make changes to the data here. So it won't stop you from doing it. Fine. Next. So you do also have the shortcuts to generate this extra sessions. Okay, I'll create another session. So how to create that is in transaction code or the command field, you have to enter /o. O means open new session. So when I click on open new session, it will bring a dialog box where you can mention whether to generate session or to delete the session. So I'll click on generate session. Now if you see, another screen has popped up. Okay. Now I don't want this screen to be present. I just need only these two. I don't want this extra screen. So what I can do is enter /I. I is for deletion. Okay. Now when I click enter, you see that session is gone. Okay. Now I'll again open new session. How is /O. So I'll give some other T code which you may not understand this point, but I'll enter another screen. Okay. Now I want to refresh the session. If you observe this clearly, it says SAP Easy Access Payroll Australia. Observe this. I want to go to home screen, keeping these two sessions alive. Now, what I'll do, I'll enter /n. N means new session by killing this existing session. Now it says easy access. See, now SAP Payroll Australia is gone. So now you are into home page. So /n is new session without opening additional one. /o is additional one. /n is existing session will go to home page. /I is for deletion. Clear, team? So
Yes.
/n is for new session killing the existing one. Okay, new extra session additional existing one. Okay, I is kill the existing session. Clear?
Yeah.
So I'll come to the star part later, but I'll avoid confusion for everyone. So please remember these three, but majorly you use /n/o. Okay, and then once you did your work, you want to log off. So how you can do is by going to the system and clicking on log off, or in transaction code you can enter /n exit. So now you see I have exited from the sessions. So now again when you want to enter you have to relog in again. Done. So I'll also show this log off option. Log off, it will ask you whether you want to log off. Are you sure? Then I click yes, then it's logged off. Team, let me know if you have any doubts in today's session. We'll stop today's session here. So you know how to view the data, maintain the data, and how to edit, copy, delete, delimit, lock. Asra, Mona Lisa, any queries?
No.
No.
No. What I need every one of you is to practice these things, because it will give you that starting edge where you can adapt quickly to the SAP screens. So you can refer to this video. I'll post it in our YouTube channel today. So you can view the video once again, and please do take the server access and start practicing. All right.
Yeah. Hi. In that server access, we can download the SAP, or else we need to go there and install.
No, basically, the contact number that I have provided, you can ask them. They will provide you with a URL from where you can download the SAP software. Okay. So
Okay.
once the software is downloaded, you have to install it in your system, and then when you pay them the amount, they will provide you with user ID and system details, the server details. Okay. So you have to create the connection in your system, and then you will be able to access the SAP client system.
Is there any time frame for that? I mean, for a limited period?
So for 3 months, it's 1,000 rupees per month.
Okay.
So user access, you will have user access only till that point of time.
Okay. Okay.
Fine.
Okay, which country we need to take, Sai? I mean, which country we need to take?
So all the
Access.
they will provide you super user. It's not country specific. Okay. So all that you should ask them is SAP ECC HCM user ID.
Okay. We can text that in a group chat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Texted that in your chat too. Fine.
Okay.
Okay. So please do get the server access. The sooner you get, the more time you get to practice, because from tomorrow onwards, we'll be concentrating more on the configuration side. So the things that we explained are the basic things where you need to maintain or make changes or display or see the employees master data. From tomorrow onwards, we'll be going into depth. We'll be focusing on configurations. All right.
Okay.
Anyone, any doubts? So I'll take it as a no then. Uh, You can also ping me personally if you can't ask anything in this forum. I'll always be there to help you out. Even your doubt is very silly, that's not a problem. These classes are for you, so you must ask any doubt that you have. So don't hesitate. All right?
Yeah.
Okay, then thank you guys. See you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Thank you, Sai. Thank you all. Bye bye.
Thank you, Sai.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye.